Alright, so we got the WWE title storyline for you here. Got a nice little graph. First, this huge chunk right here, you can see that is Triple H right there. He takes up about 50% of the entire fucking thing. And, here's Stephanie throwing her trash all over the place. But let's not forget about this rising up-and-comer here. That is, of course, the Big Show. They put a lot of steam behind him. Looks like he's going to make a splash here. Going for a potentially big title run, the Big Show there. And here's another guy that shows a lot of promise. You got Shawn Michaels, and what he's doing with Triple H is really spot on there. And let's not forget Brie Bella. She's engaged there, and that's very important. And hey, look, right here you got Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, the two people that are actually in the fucking match coming up at the pay-per-view. And as you can clearly see, the actual WWE Championship is not even a part of the fucking storyline. So, good job, WWE. A+. Wrestling review for Monday Night Raw episode October 21st, 2013. And this show, finally, after weeks of shit, this show wasn't as terrible as what the WWE has put on recently. However, there were a couple of segments that really got under my skin that I want to talk about. My 8-hour day today was fucking intense, so I am kind of burned out, but I'm going to try to bring as much energy as I possibly can. So, here we go. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon opened the show, and they're basically just hyping up the upcoming pay-per-view on Sunday. And then Big Show cuts them off, and it really looks like, okay, first of all, it's Vince McMahon that got him on there. Of course it's fucking Vince McMahon. It's always Vince McMahon. He's the higher power. It's Vince McMahon. That's who it always is. Of course, he's the one that put Big Show on there. He's been wanting to come back on TV to save this garbage fucking company because their ratings are so god-awful. Second, it really looked like Big Show was just on like a soundstage or in front of a green screen somewhere. It looked fucking ridiculous. And third, why are you hyping up this Big Show Triple H feud? I don't get it. This feud is a dozen years old. And you know, Big Show's getting a crowd reaction nowadays. He is. People are interested in him. But it's not because of his in-ring ability. It's because of how the WWE has booked him. The first part of his storyline where he was sobbing and knocking out Dusty Rhodes was fucking garbage. But now with the comeback and knocking out Triple H, people are starting to get behind the Big Show. But that is all because of the storyline and the way that it's booked. So my question is, why are you doing it with the Big Show? Why are you doing it with this guy who is in the latter part of his career, who's been around forever? What the fuck is the Big Show gonna do? They're gonna give him another title run? Why couldn't you take this type of angle and do it with somebody else? Anybody else? Do it with Dolph Ziggler. Do it with Damian Sandow. Fuck, do it with Kofi Kingston. Do it with one of the guys from The Shield, Dean Ambrose. Have him go face. I don't fucking care. Pick an up-and-coming guy and fucking use them. Not the Big Show. It's stupid. Let me tell you, if they actually go the route of putting Triple H and Big Show in the ring in a one-on-one match, as soon as that fucking bell rings, you are gonna get fucking ass, okay? That match is gonna blow. So this opening segment, I wasn't really a fan of it. You know, I didn't need to see Big Show and Triple H in both segments. I'm fine with one, preferably the opening. I figured they were going to let it go, but nope. He comes back at the end. So that makes this fucking segment suck ass. Thankfully, after that, we get a pretty good match. It's Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose. I did like this match. I thought it was a little too slow-paced for my taste. One too many submission holds throughout, but I did like it, especially towards the end where it picked up. There was one pretty intense botch at one point where Daniel Bryan was coming off the ropes and Dean Ambrose tried to get him. I don't know what they were doing there, a back body drop, or I'm not sure what they were attempting, but it did not work out. And to end the match, Daniel Bryan, he wound up countering a move into the label lock, and Dean Ambrose tapped out. So Daniel Bryan gets a submission victory. Pretty good match. Up next, we got a CM Punk promo for the match he's got with Ryback and Paul Heyman at Hell in a Cell coming up. And it was only okay in my opinion. I think Punk is finally starting to run out of ways to say that he's going to beat up Paul Heyman. I mean, they've been doing this for months, and I think he's just running out of ways to say it. All right, up next we had this bromantic backstage segment between Shawn Michaels and Triple H, where Shawn's like, give me a hug. Oh, you're my boy. Oh, I'm just gonna have fun. The hardcore "you're my bro" attitude from Shawn Michaels was pretty goofy. It did make me laugh, but that's it. Moving on. Got ourselves a bunch of fucking garbage here with Santino Marella, Great Khali, Hornswoggle, three-man band. It gets you buy your fucking tickets to the circus. And they're dressed up like Elvis, Santino, and the crew. I'm not going to repeat all their names again. Waste of my time. It was a waste of my time to watch it, so I'm not going to waste your time reviewing it. It sucked. It was for the kids, or at least it was supposed to be for the kids. I don't know what fucking kids would like this shit, though. Up next, we got a match, Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler. And let me ask you, when you heard this match was coming up next, who did you think was going to win? It damn sure wasn't going to be Dolph Ziggler. So a lot of the energy was taken out of this match, before it even started, because I knew who was going to win. Now, I'm not saying that it was a bad match. I did like the match. It was short, definitely too short in my opinion. You had a split crowd, lots of people chanting, "Let's go Ziggler," some chanting, "Let's go Orton." Ziggler was selling moves like a boss during this match. He was on his game as always. And at one point, he looked like he really got hurt when he took that one suplex from Randy Orton. But it's so hard to tell if Ziggler's really hurt or not because of how good he is at selling. Unless, of course, he's like fighting Jack Swagger or something. Then he's really hurt for sure because Swagger's a fucking douche. And then Ziggler takes this super high-speed RKO coming off the ropes for the pin. Looked good. Match was good. But like I said before, there was never really any doubt in my mind how this was going to end. I mean, Ziggler, at this point, he's just basically fertilizer. He is cow shit to help other wrestlers in the company grow and make them look good. But Ziggler, he's nothing but shit at this point. And I'm a Ziggler fan. And hey, if you didn't know, John Cena's coming back this Sunday. Aren't you fucking excited? I know I am. Up next is the mandatory Divas match. And once again, not worth my time watching it. It's not going to waste your time talking about it. After that, we got a pretty hilarious Paul Heyman promo backstage. It's one of the more spastic promos I've seen in a long time, and I thought it was awesome. After that, we had Harper and Rowan Wyatt versus The Miz and Kofi Kingston. The Miz wrapped up in this ridiculous fucking feud with the Wyatts. Not ridiculous because of the Wyatts, ridiculous because of the fucking Miz, because he blows. However, I did like this match because I got to watch The Miz get his ass handed to him for a good portion of the match. Both Wyatts looked good in this match. Kofi looked good in this match when he got tagged in. There was this big clothesline from hell to Kofi to finish the match. Wyatts won. I liked it. After the match, Bray cut another promo on The Miz. And this Bray Wyatt versus The Miz match, if they're just going to beat the fucking shit out of The Miz, as long as it's like 10 minutes, I can deal with that. After that, we had Curtis Axel versus Big E Langston, who is now making this quick face turn, surprising. But this wasn't really a match. It turns into a 2-on-1 attack from Axel and Ryback. But Big E, man, he looked great. He was he was countering moves and withstanding their attacks and fighting back for a long time. He looked very strong. And then Punk eventually had to come down with a kendo stick to even the odds. And then Vicky pulls a Teddy Long and makes it a tag match. I thought this match was okay. I mean, it definitely picked up once Big E got the hot tag and he came in and he looked good. I mean, he had a lot of stiff, hard-hitting moves. And he pinned Curtis Axel with the big ending. And then you had CM Punk chasing Paul Heyman out of the building through the crowd and standing tall with the crowd before the commercial break. But the best thing about this whole segment was Big E Langston. I mean, this is like the best he's been booked ever. And then we got tons of fucking shit versus Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro. Basically another kids segment. And this was into the third hour of the show, if I remember correctly. Why? So that would put it like 10 o'clock, after 10 o'clock at night. What kids that are young enough that would enjoy this kind of garbage be still awake to watch this stupid shit at this time? I don't fucking understand that. And I feel bad. Out of everybody in this cluster fucking mess, the one person I feel bad for is Antonio Cesaro being stuck in this goddamn bullshit. You already had one kid's segment for the evening. That's your limit, in my opinion. You put another one on, and you're going to put it in the third hour? Doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Oh, and in case you missed it earlier, John Cena's coming back. Get your fucking toy. Go out and you buy that fucking shit. Get yourself that John Cena toy. You know you're gonna want it. He's coming back. How many comeback videos does he have now? 3? 4? What a bunch of fucking bullshit. Alright, up next we had the Usos versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in a number one contenders match for the tag team titles. And you had Cody Rhodes and Goldust on commentary. First thing, shouldn't the Shield just kind of get a rematch? I pretty much forgot that the Usos were the number one contenders, so they had two rightful number one contenders in a number one contenders match. I didn't understand the logic there, but whatever. Second thing is, I liked Cody Rhodes and Goldust, their like combination music theme. I thought that was pretty cool. Now let's talk about this fucking commentary during this match. JBL was out of his mind at parts during this show. He is so loud and just spastic, you know, backing Triple H and that whole angle. And in this particular match, he was out of control against Cody Rhodes, Michael Cole, and Goldust especially. Goldust was kind of funny with the goofy fucking shit he was saying. But JBL, man, all he was doing was shouting. Reminded me of Troll Cole back in, you know, before Jerry Lawler had his heart attack and they used him to just be this fucking asshole. That's what JBL reminded me of on commentary last night. It sucked. Now, to the actual match itself, I liked it. I thought this was a pretty good match. At one point you had Roman Reigns destroying one of the Usos with a jumping clothesline from out of the corner. It looked pretty cool. And you know, this match was exciting for the most part, especially towards the end. It really picked up. But I did want to see a clean finish to this match. I wanted to see an actual winner. But they decided to go the route of Dean Ambrose just nagging and bitching at Cody and Goldust until they started fighting each other outside the ring. And then the Usos and Reigns and Rollins got involved, and it just turned into this big mess, turning it into a triple threat match at the pay-per-view, I'm sure. So the match was good. I just would have liked a legitimate ending to it. They just kind of rang the bell at one point during the brawl and was like, that's it. All right, so the main event, you got your contract signing between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. And, of course, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H are out there in the ring. Oh, earlier in the night, they did this video package about Shawn Michaels training Daniel Bryan. And I really like that. I like the footage they used and just going into that aspect of Daniel Bryan. I wish they would kind of do that a little bit more. But, you know, this is WWE we're talking about here. Everything that's supposed to make sense everywhere else in this company is just wishful fucking thinking. All right, so here we go. What Orton had to say, it was good. Orton was good on the mic. Daniel Bryan, he was all right too. And Shawn Michaels, what he had to say put over Daniel Bryan. He did a very good job. He actually looked at Daniel Bryan and said, hey, this kid, he's good. He's really good. And he just went on to put over Daniel Bryan in a great way. Those three, fine. Now we get to Triple H. All right. Triple H basically admitted that, you know, he rams himself up the ass of whatever is hot in the company at the time. That's been his MO for his entire fucking career. I mean, he slapped himself up next to Brock Lesnar when he came back after Lesnar had that John Cena match at Extreme Rules. Before that, he threw himself in with CM Punk when CM Punk got hot. And now he's coming in, you know, to take over Daniel Bryan here. I mean, it's the same fucking thing all the time. And him just putting down guys like RVD and Chris Jericho and Edge. I mean, yeah, he's saying that to be a heel and get heel heat. But that is how Triple H thinks. I mean, that's just kind of how he's always been. I've said it before. He is an asshole. That's who he is. That's his way of thinking, and it fucking sucks. So to hear him come out there and say, these guys, they're not the one, I'm one of those guys because I'm a top guy, and I only fight against other top guys. No fucking shit. Because if you fought in the ring with anybody else that wasn't super hot, nobody would give a rat's ass. But anyway, Triple H, fuck him. His ego's out of control. He's an asshole. What really pisses me off is you had Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. It's their match at the pay-per-view coming up. And these two guys were basically fighting to get on the mic to talk like Triple H and Shawn Michaels started going in on each other, basically. and it was Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan trying to get just a few words in when they could. You know, like, hey, we're over here, we're the guys fighting, having the match, you know, look at us, we want to be a part of this fucking promo. You know, that was stupid. You took the focus completely off of the title match, and then, here comes a Big Show on a semi-truck. For what purpose? To come out and leech off the yes chant some more? I forgot to bring that up last week, but Daniel Bryan is just like this fucking heat waver. They are using him to get everybody else over. Triple H, Big Show, all these old-timer fucks, and I don't understand. Big Show has nothing to do with the title match upcoming at the pay-per-view, and if he does make an appearance, it's just gonna fucking piss me off. Alright, so overall, this episode of Raw, it was definitely more watchable than what it's been in recent weeks. There were several parts that were actually good, and I could sit and watch and enjoy them. But there was the usual shit segments, and then the stuff with Triple H and the Big Show was just fucking stupid, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And real quick, I want to talk about John Cena. Alright, I fucking hate John Cena. These video packages are out of control. They're ridiculous. I mean, they're making it out like he's gonna come back and just shit roses and piss wine everywhere, you know? Like he's fucking the second coming here. And I have no idea what's going to happen when he gets back, why he's in the World Heavyweight Championship picture, how that's going to play out. I will say that I have been skipping just about everything John Cena related that has been on Raw recently, because they're just video packages. They're not affecting the current product at this moment, or at least the wrestlers in the product. But, you know, after this pay-per-view, as of the upcoming pay-per-view, he will be back, and he will begin affecting the product live, which means I'm going to have to watch him some more going forward, and that's really going to piss me off. And it's just going to be that same old John Cena bullshit that we're going to have to deal with, and I'm not fucking looking forward to it. Alright, JB Squared 61279. I will see you guys next time.